Hey everybody, this is JDGaming back today with a special spotlight video, the likes of which I've never really done on this channel, on an app that I just absolutely love. Not sponsored by these guys, it's basically an app that a friend of mine showed me a few years back, and I've been using it ever since for all of my Yu-Gi-Oh needs on the go. So, the app we're talking about today is Yugipedia. You see it right here on the corner of the screen. That's what it looks like. The link to that is in the description down below if this video piques your interest in it. Not to be confused with Yu-Gi-Oh! Wikia or Yugipedia, the YG organization version of that database, but I think it's something even better in a lot of ways because it has a lot of the same functionality you'd probably use the Wikia for anyway. So, Yugipedia is an app that was created by Logic LLC. I'll put up their information at the end of this video so you'll be able to check that out. But it essentially allows you to do everything with this game except play online and have physical cards, which is pretty darn cool. So we have three tabs I want to talk about today. Search, then I'll talk about Banlist real quick, and then I'll go into the Decks tab. So Search tab, right? Let's say I want to look up enemy controller. So I'm just going to look up MYCon because I think it'll bring up right there, just like you would search in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Database itself on Konami's site, on DevPro or Dueling Book. You could go ahead, click the card. Hey, there's all its text, and I can even look up a recent image of the card to see what it looks like. So I can reference its text, see how problem solving works, all that stuff as well. And if I hit this plus button in the corner, I can add it to any type of list I want. So it could be to a deck, it could be a list of ideas, a list of cards I want to pick up in the future, and that just gives you a lot of power with this tool. You never lose track of your ideas, and you don't have to rely on just like a word processor or like a notes feature on your phone. You can literally just put together cards in a deck or a combo cluster all in one go on your phone, which is just really cool in my opinion. Let's say you want to search with a little more of a broad spectrum, so I don't know what I'm looking up, right? I like the features on the databases where I'm able to just look up a bunch of types of cards and see what fits a category. Well, I can go and hit monsters, maybe I want to hit synchros, and they're all earth monsters, right? So that lets me go and see 56 of these exist in the TCG and OCG right now in this database. I can see Goyo Guardian requires a tuner monster that's Earth nowadays, unfortunately. I can even see cards that are prizes like Grizzly that you can't even play. That's why the image of this card is so blurry. It's because it's so rare and it wasn't the best image. But it basically has everything you would want to search. You can access things very easily, see their card text, see all of their stats, see the picture of it if you're not sure what the card is and it's the first time you're hearing about it. And the coolest thing is you can even search just for new cards. So if I hit search here, wait, Dragunian Knight Harloon, Boral Sword Dragon, Cyber Dragon Hertz, weren't those released like, or announced in OCG like this past week? Yes, they were, and all this information is available to you. All that same functionality is there. You can see the image, you can see the text, you can add it to whatever deck you want in whatever quantity, and yeah, this is just absolutely awesome because this lets you keep track of all the new cards, see what they do, remind yourself of what they do, combo with them, test with them, just look at the cards that are there, and if nothing else, it's a good collection of all the stuff that's coming out so that you don't forget about things. You know, if you miss a video or an article on a social media site, you'll still know about these cards because you're able to access this site here, and then it'll give you all of that information. True, they don't have things like, Cyber Dragon Fia. That was announced 24 hours ago, right? So it's not that up to date, but you look at things that are like a week within this week, and it's already up here. So every few times I open this app, it ends up being updated, takes 2 seconds, boom, database is now up to date. It's a really cool feature, guys, and I just really love what these guys are doing at Logic LLC. Then we jump over to Banlist here. You can see here, pretty self-explanatory, has 4 different lists based on the OCG list and TCG Advanced being up to date as far as I've checked every time. I'm pretty sure they're going to have traditional and ARG lists accurate as well. But you can see here, this is the February 2018 list. We have Gofu and Dandelion banned, Double Iris Magician is banned as well. You could go and see if you hit that 1 button at the top, jump over to limited, hey, Apoclephort Towers is back to 1, and for some reason you have, Wind Up Magician still at 2. You could check out all this information, click on any card, go right here and add it to whatever. All the functionality is consistent throughout the different tabs of the app, and that lets you go and play around with these cards again, come together with ideas, read them, reference them, whatever you want, and it's all available at your fingertips, which is just the coolest thing about this app. And then the last thing, but definitely the reason I love this app so much, is the Decks tab. So I already talked about it. You could go and make any type of deck you want. It doesn't even have to be a deck. You just hit the plus, create a name for it. It'll show up in this list. here you can see pickup. Those are cards I want to pick up in the future, whether it's something in the OCG that I don't know when it's going to come here, or maybe I just want to wait for a sale on TCG Player or eBay and I can go and pick them up at that point. I have weird ideas for videos that I have here as well as just some of my decks that I actually play. So let's say Metal Foes, right? So you can see at the top it has a summary of the deck, 40 card main, 15 extra, breakdown by 3 traps, 8 spells, and so on. And I can click any of these things, again, just like before, read the text, see the image, whatever with them, and I can even go and modify the deck by getting rid of stuff with this X as well, sort things out based on card type or stats or whatever, which is all cool. And I really like this feature here because every time I make a deck profile and then I put it in here, I can feel comfortable with the same just white sleeves that I use for all my main deck cards, move my staples over to a different deck, play that deck, test it out, profile that. And then once I'm done, I know I can come back to this deck because everything is listed here as I have left it. So I don't need multiple Raigekis or Ash Blossoms or other staples because I could just use the same physical cards and just move them around. I know some people do that, some people don't like doing that, and I think a lot of the reason people don't like doing that is keeping track of what cards are where, like, oh, what if I don't have this? Obviously, you can't use this if you need 2 copies of a card, so like a Raigeki and 2 decks so that you could play against someone else who's using your deck, right? But for the most part, if you're just focusing on your own inventory of cards and what you want to do with that, it'll at least help you keep track so that you can minimize the necessity of getting extra cards that you wouldn't otherwise have to. It lets you share staples between, which I think is pretty cool. But the best thing, I still saved it for last, and but wait, there's more. Hit the top play button in the right there, and it lets you go and set up a test field, either on the old field before links or the new one with links. I'm gonna go here. Hey, look, pendulum scales in the left and right. You see the field spell zone in the top, extra monster zones. On the right next to the deck is the graveyard, and on the left next to the extra is the banished. But I can go ahead, tap 5 times. Hey, I have a 5-card hand to test with my Metal Foes deck. I can go and drag and drop cards onto the field wherever I want, and I can hit this little eyeball icon, which lets me look at any of them. I can go and look through lists like the deck. I can click any of these things, add it to my hand, maybe bring it onto the field that way. And I can even go and tap cards on the field so that, put them face down, switch it to defense position, put it face down there. This little thing right here that's glowing in blue will let you go and only toggle between the different positions as if you're tapping. If you're, accidentally dragging it like this and not able to tap it, that lets you do that. And why is that important? Well, now I can hit this little close icon card here and hide my hand, and I can tap this card and make it face down. Now I can give my phone to my opponent and they can go and play against my field. So if I'm sitting with a buddy in a car ride or something, I could play Yu-Gi-Oh on the go with this. And even if you don't want to use this feature because you think it's a bit clunky, you can again just go and test hands. So here is a pretty good hand. I can go and drag things out, scale these, pop things, summon out this, search another copy, whatever, put things on my extra deck, put it in the grave, banish it, activate spells using the thing here. I could go look through the deck, right? So I can go and click here. Let's say I am able to use Heavy Metal Foes Electromite and add Rescue Hamster to my extra deck. Put it in my hand, put it in the extra, boom, it's over there. You can hit this little button here in the middle of the top right, and that twisty arrow is a shuffler, so I can look through here. And if I look, Rare Metal Foes Bismugear, Painful Decision, and Silvered with 2 Rescue Rabbits. If I shuffle it, hey, it's a totally different 5. Rescue Hamster, Metal Foes Counter, Full Metal Foes Fusion, and so on. So this is just the best thing ever, in my opinion, because you're not always able to play, on DevPro, on Dueling Network, or on Dueling Book, I guess. Or in real life, and this lets you take those 5-10 minutes that you have, or your lunch break or whatever. Anytime you have downtime, you're not sure what to do, you're on your phone anyway, you could go ahead and actually put together ideas for your decks, test them out, build them, play around with them, modify it, do whatever you would like pretty much with this game using a digital platform that's right here at your fingertips on your phone. And then top right hand corner lets you reset games so you can do it all again. Really cool app again. I'm just going to leave this on the About page for you guys if you want to see some of that information. Again, it's a Logic LLC, copyright 2017, but they do go ahead and update this thing very regularly. As you saw, cards from this past week are already in here. And I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I'm just a fan. I've been using this forever for all of my organization, for testing out my decks and stuff, and I just feel like not enough people know about this. I know Team APS did a feature on this sometime in their lifetime, but like, I just don't know how many other people have really talked about this, and I think it's an application that a lot of people will enjoy, whether you're a casual player, a collector, a buyer, a competitive player, whatever. If you like Yu-Gi-Oh, you're able to use this thing to organize, to play test, to keep track of things you want to pick up or whatever, and you know, just build a collection of cards on here if that's what you're into. You know, so many things you're able to do, and it's just entirely free, which is the coolest thing ever. So that's everything I wanted to discuss in this video. Hopefully it's something that you guys may want to check out. You know, it's something interesting. I know it's helped me a lot, so I just wanted to share it with you guys. And yeah, this is JDGaming. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, as always, and I'll see you guys next time. That's the end of this video, but if you'd like to see more of this series, you can click the annotation on the right, or you can see the last video I did by clicking the one on the left. If you enjoyed, I encourage you guys to leave a like and share it with others you think who may enjoy it as well. And if you'd really like to see more updates, then subscribe to JD Gaming for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos. Thanks guys, this is JD Gaming, hope you guys enjoyed as always, and I'll see you guys next time.